I am Ashish De. I am taking one of your subject, that is digital signal processing. In my earlier video, I have discussed about classification of discrete time signals. In this video, I want to discuss about the process of sampling. Now, definition of sampling. Sampling is a process of converting a continuous time signal into discrete time signal. Okay. After sampling, the signal is defined at a discrete instant of time, that is small n. Okay, and the time interval between two subsequent sampling instant is called sampling interval or sampling period. Now, sampling process is used in analog to digital conversion method. Okay, in ADC, right? So here is a block diagram of an ADC. Block diagram consisting of a sampler, then a quantizer, after that a coder. So there are three process. One is sampling, then quantizing, after that encoding. Okay, so here we are getting digital numbers, okay, or digital signal. Here is the continuous time signal xt. Okay. Now in process of sampling, we just convert a continuous time signal xt into xn, right? Discrete time signal xn. So this is the process of sampling. Okay. Now in mathematical form, we can easily convert a continuous time signal into discrete time signal by putting xt at t equal to nt, right? N is any integer and capital T is the sampling period, so it is x of n capital T. Okay. Now capital T sampling period is constant throughout the sample, throughout the signal. Okay, that's why we can write this signal as x of n, because capital T is constant, so xn, x is a function of n here. Okay, so this is the mathematical form of sampling. Okay. Now when we are sampling a continuous time signal, there is a problem of conversion a continuous time signal into discrete time signal. That problem is called aliasing or aliasing effect, right? Now what is aliasing? If we want to know in mathematically, then we have to start from the process of sampling. Suppose we are taking a continuous time signal xt as sine omega t, right? So in the process of sampling, x of nt equal to sine n omega capital T, right? So suppose this is sine small omega n. Okay, where small omega equal to capital omega into t, this. Okay. Now capital omega is the frequency in continuous time domain and small omega is the frequency of the signal in discrete time domain. Just remember this thing. Okay. Now here the sampling period is capital T, right? Sampling period is capital T. Okay. So sampling frequency, capital T is called sampling period. So sampling frequency is sampling frequency, that is omega s equal to 2 pi by t, 2 pi by capital T. Okay. Now if we sample a signal that is that has the frequency greater than the multiple integer multiple of 2 pi by t. Suppose we want to sample a signal that is sine omega plus 2 pi by t into an integer, that is capital M. We want to sample this signal, then what will happen? Just it has to be multiplied by small n into t, right? This thing. So for this signal, it can be represented. If we multiply this nt, this will be equal to sine n omega capital T plus 2 pi t into m n capital T, right? Now here mn is basically an integer. Okay, so integer multiple of 2 pi. Okay, so this will be equal to sine n omega capital T, right? So we are just getting here this portion, sine n omega capital T. Okay, that is the signal sine omega t and the signal sine omega plus omega s. So sine capital omega t and sine omega plus omega s. What is omega s? Omega s is 2 pi by t. Here we are just taking integer multiple of 2 pi by t, right? So sine omega t and sine omega plus omega s into t produce the same output samples. It means that a sequence xn obtained by sampling the sinusoidal signal of capital omega radian per second frequency or f hertz also exactly represent sine waves at other frequencies, namely omega plus omega s or integer multiple of omega s, right? That is, when the signal is sampled at a rate of fs, fs is equal to it can be found from this, okay, 1 by capital T, right? So when a signal is sampled at a rate fs samples per second, if k is positive or negative integer, we cannot distinguish between the samples values of a sine wave of frequency f hertz or f plus k fs hertz. We cannot distinguish the samples of these two frequencies. Okay, thus an infinite number of continuous time sinusoids are represented by the same set of samples. As a result, an ambiguity exists as to which continuous time signal xt these values represent. Okay, so this effect is known as aliasing. Just remember the term aliasing. Okay, so when we want to sample a signal, there is a problem that is called aliasing. To avoid this problem, we have to sample a signal greater than or equal to the value of this sampling rate. Okay, this sampling rate is called Nyquist sampling rate. It is discussed in the Nyquist sampling theorem. Okay, now we have to know what is Nyquist sampling theorem. Now Nyquist sampling theorem. A Nyquist sampling theorem is that a band limited signal xt or x, a band limited signal xt with x of j omega equal to 0 for capital omega greater than omega m is uniquely determined from its samples x of small n capital T if the sampling frequency fs greater than equal to 2 fm. Sampling frequency must be at least twice the highest frequency present in the signal. Okay, so suppose for a signal, any signal xt has two frequency components. Suppose it has 10 pi t, sin 10 pi t plus sin 20 pi t, right? So this is the signal. Okay, now we have to sample this signal. Okay, so what is the highest frequency? Its frequency is 5 hertz and its frequency is 10 hertz, 2 pi ft. Okay, so we have to sample at a rate at least twice the maximum frequency present in this signal. Okay, so twice the maximum frequency, that is equal to 20 hertz. So sampling rate should be greater than or equal to 20 hertz for this signal. Okay, so and this rate, sampling rate, that is the least value of this sampling rate to avoid aliasing, that is equal to 2 fm. This sampling rate is called Nyquist sampling rate. Nyquist sampling rate. Okay, and this process is done by an anti-aliasing filter. Okay, just remember the name anti-aliasing filter. So what is anti-aliasing filter? A filter that is used to reject high frequency signals before it is sampled to reduce the aliasing is called an anti-aliasing filter. So from here we see that Nyquist sampling rate fs equal to 2 fm. What is fm? Fm is the maximum frequency present in the continuous time signal. Okay, if continuous time signal consisting of several frequencies, then maximum frequencies has to be taken as fm. Okay, so Nyquist rate will be twice the maximum frequency present in the signal. Now to reconstruct the original continuous time signal from the discrete time signal, we have to use a reconstruction filter. Okay, reconstruction filter is basically a low pass filter or LPF. Low pass filter is used to recover the original signal from its sample. This is also called interpolation filter. A low pass filter is that type of filter which passes only low frequencies up to a specified cutoff frequency and rejects all other frequencies above the cutoff frequency. Okay, so using reconstruction filter, that is a low pass filter, we are just choosing the minimum frequency as a cutoff frequency and rejects all higher frequencies or harmonics of the fundamental frequency, right? So from what we learn from this video, we learn about the process of sampling. What are the steps to convert an analog signal into digital signal? The steps are sampling, quantizing and encoding. Okay, we learn about sampling period, sampling frequency or sampling rate. We learn about the process of aliasing or aliasing effect. Okay, we learn about Nyquist sampling theorem and Nyquist sampling rate. Also learn about reconstruction filter.